Yep. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
Literally, literally what I always say is there's nothing to do here. There really is nothing to do. You just have to be who you are. And when you are who you are, and it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a jerk, if you're an asshole, if you're a dick, if you're a good person, whatever the case is, it doesn't matter, because this is moralistic. And we are not moralistic people anymore. We're nine center. The nine center, doesn't put moralistic system. The seven center invented the argument. This is very seven center mind. This is wrong, this is good, or you like this, you like that, why you don't like me, and blah, blah, blah. But when you let go the mind, you truly let go the mind. This is what we call a death. You have to die. It's a big death. And when you die and you're reborn as yourself, there's nothing here. It's emptiness. There really is nothing. But what I've been seeing and witnessing over the year is people who do not have a heart center defined. It is such a challenge for them because they don't have a consistent access to self-esteem and self-value and self-love and all of that. So they constantly try to prove their worth. So they don't want to die. They don't want to let go of the control. Because if they lose all this control, then it's identity crisis. But who am I? Like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't feel worthy anymore. Or I feel undervalued. Or I feel unworthy. Let me prove. All not self-mind.
What makes us think we're in control anyway?
Yeah, when you let go all of that, and then you're left with the true essence of who you really are. And that's why there's nothing to do. You just be here, you're present, you just be. And that's, the first class we had, the third basic, which is the training balance scale. When you really learn how to balance the scale, which is 99%, is about being. It's just you're getting your thinking right, just vibrating. When you just vibrate, then, your G center here, the magnetic monopole, where actually the driver is. So the G center, and you have the second gate. This is the home of the magnetic monopole. It's where our soul is located. And the second gate, by the way, it's the gate of the receptive, the direction of the self. So when we sit within the body, when we sit in as passenger consciousness, then the G center can finally do its purpose, which is to capture. And it captures the essence of your vibration, of your being. So if you're being not self, the only thing that your G center is going to capture is not self. And it brings to you more not self, and you experience the not self, and you live a life that is not self. And some people are really not self. They're making millions and millions, but they don't get the signature of their type. They get everything else, but they don't get the signature of their type, which is the sign of nature for generators' satisfaction. They're going to tell you, oh, life is okay, but they're not deeply satisfied. They are not. And they have millions, or whatever the case is. So that's what the G center does. But at the moment you align, because that's what it is, that's what healing is all about. See, everyone is talking about healing, and I'm sick and tired of all those bloody hell healers. They don't know clue. Healing is in the 25th hexagram, 5th line, recuperation. That's my node. It's all about returning to innocence. And when you return to innocence, what you do actually is that you align your spirit with the vehicle, so you don't have any more interference with the magnetic monopole. That's what healing is. And then the magnetic monopole can do its job. Attract to you, capture for you what's correct. What a challenge, to sit here. And this is the right angle cross of penetration. It's what you're hearing from me right now. Penetrating you, the gate 51, the shock, the 57, the gently penetrating. It's very profound. I'm so proud.
Good response for a guy who had nothing to say.
No.
I love it, Ben.
He just came.
Carry on.
Oh no, I'm done. He just came.
No, it's a beautiful thing. we're saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. Pay attention. What are you supposed to pay attention to? Yourself. Possession in great measure. If you go to the receptive to who you actually are, you get the possession in great measure. But bear in mind, it can empower a not self in the same way it can empower a true self. That's why type and strategy is so simple and so important. Go back to your type and your strategy. And then instead of broadcasting, as Ben says, frustration and attracting more, you broadcast satisfaction and you'll attract more. It's a matter of perception. More, there's no surprise that they're having lights go off over at Vanessa's house today. I mean, this is an incredibly beautiful moment. This is the maturation or the lack of maturation, the sweet fruit or the sour fruit of the tree of this quarter of civilization. Are we going to do the same thing over and over again? Are we going to be the dog chasing his tail in a circle? Or is this thing moving through space so that when we come back to the same place in the wheel, we're not in the same place? We're moving in a spiral. Notice that our genetics are a spiral. Notice that everything in the universe is a spiral. Everything's moving around something else. Can't steer a parked car. Go ahead, Vanessa.